My name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at TXT's Chase That Feeling Full Focus from Studio CHOOM. I'm planning on probably reacting to more of Studio CHOOM versions of choreography because I think the quality is really good, but also I'm able to see the choreography without any extra crazy camera edits, things like that. So also, this is the first time I'm doing an analysis or feedback on TXT. I have seen their work, I've used their music before in choreography, so I'm very much looking forward to this video. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay. Okay. I love grooves that operate with an odd number. Just easier to see formation shifts and symmetrical. Love the breakdown of the ISOs there. Fun. Texture shifts are great here. Yeah. Everybody matches the same level of energy in this, which makes it very enjoyable. That was nice. Wow. Song is so freaking catchy. Yeah. It feels nice. I'm catching the feeling. It feels good. Woo! Oh, that was nice. And everything's gonna be alright. Great pronunciation. I'm assuming he's native to an English-speaking country. See, now I'm singing along. Oh, the lighting looks so dope here to help with that. Wow, props to them for that. That was really enjoyable to watch. And then we have our Studio CHOOM. Okay, so bringing it back here, we're gonna take a look through the whole entire thing. Just starting from the peel out here, I really like that do there. And then not only that, I think they held out on the first doo-doo, and the reason why I think that was a very smart choice is because it's hard to start doing choreo when the track initiates or when there's a certain sound that you're trying to catch. It's better to hold out and let it establish itself first. Then whenever you begin, you're less likely to anticipate and less likely to be late. So it's helpful with that. So whoever was first here, I recognize a lot of them. I've seen them in other content that I've just watched in general, not really reacted to, but it's really fun to see them here and actually taking a look at the song is freaking catchy. You know, they should have said catching this feeling, because I feel that I feel like I was vibing with it the whole time. Super fun. So I think for him, he did a really great job of not over anticipating that section. And it's just really nice for them to go down quickly, and then they did a dynamic shift to slow it out near the tail end of this. So that was really nice. And also when they hit over, and that was part of their transition. But you can take note that my first feature over here, he established a hand out. Everybody else did not whenever they used the shoulder. And that's what helped me naturally want to look at him even before he started singing. So it was a very smart, strategic thing as an artist for him to do. And I really liked that choice he made. Honestly, that was impressive too, holding it out and then twisting still on one leg and then dropping down on the bass. That was really nice. That was fun too. Fall from the sky. So we went fall from the sky and having them all come up, tailoring the skies in the sky over here, hence why they used up, even though, and he held a no sky, so it was higher. Also, I liked the camera shot that happened there too when he threw the hand up. The shot went more aerial, and that's why it felt higher. And I really like that. And I think they frame, and I said this at the very beginning, if this is your first time ever reacting to anything that I've analyzed, welcome. But something I've said a lot when I review group choreography of any kind, I love when small groups, I love odd numbers because it is so much easier to frame your feature that way. I think some groups, when they operate at even numbers, like crews that perform on the street fighter series, some of them are even numbered crews. It is harder when you have a feature, like a feature challenge, like an artist challenge. It is hard to have them stay featured and create it symmetrically on both sides. But if you look here, it's beautiful. There's no question. It's just easier to establish who your feature is. You know, it's really nice to have him here. Of course, dynamics help, but it takes just a little bit of the effort away, which is nice. Now this was cool how they bled from a V and then they brought it over into a 2 diagonal, and this was a brilliant formation choice because now after he's finishing his feature, the next person can seamlessly come out either right here, really any spot can be ideal for your next feature. So I think that was a great choreographic choice. Look, there we go. There's our new person. He decided to come out from the back, bring his way forward, and now we're establishing a new formation. Yeah, so it's to go hit, nice ISOs over, and I already said this, but I'll say it again. All of them matched in energy for how they chose to break that down. That was really nice, very tasteful. Super slow, doo-doo-doo, and then he bled through with the swinging of the arms, and it made it bigger, more exaggerated, and because he's in the center, that kind of stuff really helps maintain the focus of your artist. I know in a lot of Gen 4 groups lean more towards not performing vocals as live anymore because the choreography is more complicated, so they want to focus more on that aspect, so they eliminate that. That's not all groups. I don't know with them. I think this group, I'm assuming, may also sing live. I'm not sure. I know they're with Hybe. I know they were the group after, I think they were like the first boy group after BTS, I think, right? So this was really nice having this here with the head accent, and notice that he punched it down, so there was a subtle, not puppeting, but like triggering effect, and it was really nice to have everybody's accent down. And I think my guy right there, I don't think he actually did anything. Oh, he did. So he hit down, and honestly, all of them having hair really helps, and some of them have longer hair. It helped with that reverberation, helped captivate with that bass, with the hair, as well as the movement. This was really cool with the bleed through of, it's just like a subtle, they placed all their weight on the right side, allowing the left to be able to glide in and out. And it was interesting that there wasn't quite a count or a sound that was going on. It was going on the in-betweens, and I think that really is what made that part look more captivating because it wasn't predictable, and I really liked that. It was cool. That right there, down, they looked down to earth, and then they broke it down very staccato, and it matched his rhythmic pattern. I will say though, this whole, I see these angsty little grabs, I call them the boy band grabs, and the boy band, like, it's just, if it does read, it can read very cringe, but this doesn't. This reads more longing, but not overly dramatic longing. And I think a lot of it stems from their performance and their face. They're not really giving us that type of energy, and I'm really glad that they're not. Super fun. It just feels more, it's just tasteful. It's just very tasteful what they're doing here. That was really cool. If you notice, they're completely mirrored. My inside people are mirroring each other. My outside people are mirroring each other. And they're doing partner work, and it bleeds to the inside. Very easy to see where your feature is right here in the center. Super great. The pre-chorus looks great. It's building, and the energy of what they're doing is building. This kick right here is super fun. That little feeling, that drop down, it was nice hitting the bass, then hitting the wordplay feeling. Then they keep hitting that bass, but instead of using the legs, they're isolating it more towards the upper body, which is super fun. That right there was cool. You notice that my feature in center, he chose to use his arms to help create the shape, and everybody else just did the torso equivalents of that right here. That was really cool. So I like that because it helps signify they're doing a great job of subtleties to engage in the psychological aspect of where you want to focus your attention to. Of course, with choreography, it helps whenever everybody's doing the same thing. Your mannerisms in your feature do matter because it helps me be able to be drawn to where you want me to look. That can be a good thing, and that can also be a bad thing. If somebody's doing some weird arms, you don't want me looking there, you know, but if they're doing arms that are meant for, hey, I'm singing, look at me, it's not, you know, they're just making really smart choices. This right here, I love the choreo here. It's just a vibe, you know? It's just very, and it just feels retro, 90s retro, you know. There's a lot of shows, at least where I am, there's a lot of TV shows that are getting remade in the 90s era, and this is the kind of backbeat, that doo-doo-doo, that type of piano, that synthy piano in the back. It's just reading that, and that's why it feels gregarious. So it feels like more on the happier side than neurotic, which is more negative. And I like this because it just matches. It is trendy. It feels very trendy, but it also feels. It feels like they made the trend into the timbre trend of the type of tracks that were coming out just globally. It feels like this is their take on it versus they're replicating a trend. You know what I'm saying? And I really like that. And it was nice where they do something different in between, but they have this focal texture and movement that they want to hit here. That feel right here. It's interesting that instead of dripping down, a lot of people would do, they actually flipped it and drew it this way. It reads different and it looks different, and I like it. That right there, all I know. So that was cool, letting the feet complement the hands. Super fun. Then only my feature went and did the second go around, which was super cool. But everybody still did it both times. That was, I mean, honestly, this is a freaking cool, great song. Okay, this is a complete side note that really has nothing to do with anything, but this draping on the end and how this jacket is sitting, he could pursue a vampire concept, but like a new school vampire concept. If he was by himself, I think it could read. Change some lighting, change the song, change everything, and you got a vampire, but also, I mean, that's just, they can play around with whatever concept they want. I just think that's fun. It's a complete side note, has nothing to do with this analysis at all. But I really like how whenever you have your center person, I just do think it's interesting though. Maybe it's because it's a front cam and it's a full focus, right? And I love me some full focused because I'm not missing anything. We're seeing a lot of them just be central front, and then we have everybody just kind of frame out evenly on both sides. We do see a couple interruptions of formations, but that's just something I'm just noticing. But that right there, when he decided to do this and they all went doo-doo-doo and they rolled up, that was super nice and really nice triggering point. Controlling, I think they do a good job of making not only their nuances of their movement help showcase who the feature is, they're using those opportunities to help control what else is going on. So it enhances the complexity or the collaboration between all of the dancers. And it doesn't look like it's one person and everybody else. It's we're a group and I'm featured here, but we're still a group. Look at all of us. And I love that. That was nice. Nice unison choreo. I love the presence with all of them. Just a note though, you know, we have some of them that just these are like micro, like baby micro things that would just need to be adjusted with the cleanliness. Some of them are like going up. The range of your choreography is important. It helps with your cleanliness, not only the timing. It's how you get to point A to point B, not just point A and point B. And a lot of people don't clean that as much, but I really see that they really are attentive to what is clean. That right there feels so alive, super nice. And he's still there's my feature, but I really appreciate what everybody else is doing too. I feel like that's another like kind of go-to transition, the small slides, because it's nice. It's a different texture shift. It matches that bass because the bass isn't just bass, it goes away. It's a bass and it kind of lingers just a smidgen. And so having that slide helps create that accent, but it bleeds out and it still is engaging and it matches the music very well. Great musicality. So kudos to the choreographers. I don't know if it was a puzzle piece choreography, like with multiple people on it, or if it was one person, not sure. Don't care, it looks great, you know. I love the aerial shot there, it was really cool, and I love that they're able to focus on the camera and then having them drop to the floor. The aerial shot really helps create a different visual, so they are framing more forward. My guys were center in the back, you know. That's another note too. Whenever you do get an aerial shot, these angles, you're able to see if everybody is actually on the same page. They're projecting more forward because normally a camera's more towards the front. They're actually doing it towards the angle of the camera, which shows either professionalism or what. I really like that though. Yeah, so honestly, this part is just nice unison, build up, add-ons, really nice, and then they're back together with your person in the front center. Then he jumps out of the way, and now we have our new person featured, and I love the spotlight. Kudos Studio CHOOM, love the quality of the build-up here. They reach out, and it is subtly different. I'm assuming it's because my guy in center is different than I think he built it up the first time, right? And now he's building it up the second time because he started the first. So I like the fact that everybody is just kind of interchanging their different sections. That's really nice, and it shows the versatility of the group, just as vocalists. This was really nice too, is because they are repeating some choreography, but they're not making the same formation choices, and they're going about it in different directions, which makes it look more intriguing and more captivating as well. So that's another positive, is that your formations and your transitions matter just as much as content, because if you just did content the whole time and it was unison, it's going to get boring very quickly, not because the content is bad, but it's because there's nothing overcompensating for the full package. Do you know what I mean? So you want to have formations that are interesting, visuals that are interesting, but if you're not going to cater to those, your content needs to at least be interesting in some way, shape, or form, whether it's in textures, in levels, in layering, things like that, your timing, what have you, musicality. And that was very smooth. I think if anything, they're one of the very few groups, like being very honest, because I've reacted to quite a few groups at this point, one of the few groups where it's very seamless, where my feature is starting and it's just tasteful, and there hasn't been a single instance where I'm like, that wasn't the best choice. And I like this a lot. Yep, and then you have a different person in center, which is really nice. So I just feel like not only is their performance and presence quite equal in the sense of execution, but how they're presenting themselves, I feel, isn't this also, like, being very honest, doesn't it feel like most groups you have one or two members who don't really get a lot of vocals, but here I feel like everyone's got a pretty even distribution of vocals and feature, and I really like that because I feel like everybody has a preference on a member of a group, right? And so for me, I like it whenever I like being able to that's why I do these analysis, is that, you know, even if a group I would have never listened to them, somebody would, and somebody really is a fan. Like, there's a lot of you that are really big fans of this group. I like some of their music, but I am not a K-pop fan as much of any new groups or any groups that are past second generation. That was when my huge fandoms came about with second generation. I just have a respect and appreciation for the groups though, so I want you to know that. So I really do like the choreographic realm and the music and a lot of those things, just from this generation, but I'm not attached to any particular group. That's really what I meant to say. All that to say, I really like the fact that they I feel like the line distribution is pretty even. So the fandom of this group, I think, is getting more of equality representation, if that makes sense, that a lot of groups I don't feel do. And that just probably just speaks major volumes onto the group as a whole and just how they're choosing to explore this, which is very impressive. Very, yeah, you know, just kind of the slide through with the head. So it's not really, they're not doing threading, but they are doing a lot of, you know, they're using a lot of hand to help transition the head, but also use that to as a transition, which is super cool. Yeah, I also think too, because of this choreography, they're not utilizing the chest nearly as much as I see a lot of other groups do of this generation. And I think that probably is very helpful for them if they do choose to sing live, because if you overly use this, it does make it difficult to be able to sing stably, you know, and I know the turnaround times on a lot of these comebacks and things is a lot tighter than in America. So I think that it's definitely a huge testament to the choreographer being mindful of that. And I also really like how they're making concessions for themselves as a group to make sure that they cater to this as effectively for them as they can. That all that I know, I feel like we've already kind of seen and touched on this, which is really nice. This was awesome. I love this dance right here, that da-da-da-da, and they're kind of just bringing it around. And they're mixing it with positions, but then they're also using the hand to help transition it over to the next spot. But it's very nice, clean, because the sound is like a pure clean sound, dee 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 dee, you know, it's just kind of one of these vibes, and it's vibes really like dee 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 dee, and it's hitting that neutral pocket, which is so fun, very clean, and it doesn't feel like overly complicated either, even though some of these can really cater to a polyrhythmic situation. I love this, dee 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 dee. Just all of that there with the how they accented with the wrist down as they brought it back up, and just having a lot of these movements, and then they're choosing what sections of the music to explore. That shows a really nice musicality presence here. I love it. And notice they have that subtle bounce there. Chasing, and the second one looks subtly different because the bounce isn't there. I like the chasing, bringing it around. I know we see that a little bit earlier. Super cool. The lights really helped this, like that section, and when they did that again with the lights, freaking sick, you know? That was nice. I love that. You know, I know that they both were looking towards him, and they were facing the opposite way. He went sky, and they complimented that as he stepped over, so that was a really nice touch. Then he drops down. That right there. And it's just so clean, like they're because the routine is clean, that sounded clean, and I think that's what I think I like the most about this choreography. Makes me really enjoy the song because they're representing it effectively. They're not they're very clean, and so it's easy to know what layers they're wanting to hit, and it's not they're trying to hit them, it's they're hitting them, and I get to appreciate the different parts of the music, which I think was the intention of the choreographer. I get to see the choreographer's intention from what we're seeing because of all of those factors put in. And I just love that. That room is so big. I don't think I've ever said that. Studio CHOOM space is so, like, just the vast spaceness of this for fight. That's wild to me. Anyway, it's just super cool. Feeling that little chasing that feeling, just the drop down, super fun. Yeah, so it's doing a lot of unison, but they're using transitions to still make it interesting with this whole build-up. And also because the backbeat is more of a built-up here, they can just do the same choreography. They spice it up a little bit. They added more groove, slightly groove, you know. But they also added more variations to help tailor it up. But it still has familiarity because we've seen some of these movements already in the previous verses and courses. But it is slightly different. That was cool. That chasing with the formation, that was really nice. It felt very as one unit traveling forward, which is super nice. But it's still the same you know, that is the same choreo we've already seen in the first 2 courses. And normally I would say, you know, maybe we should have a different choreo, but for me, I think they're making enough concessions with their formations and their visuals of the transitions. I think it's okay that they're choosing to go about the unisonness of doing the choreography the same in all the courses, because they're doing what I said, because look, they're in a straight line here, which normally they're in more of a framed, featured position, you know. Then right here, the lights. Same choreo, but the lights really make a night and day. Also, I'll make this note here, because of the lighting right here in this moment, it really makes him stand out a lot more, because he's a white on white versus a black on white. Everybody else is catering more to black. So I'm actually kind of glad they didn't pursue this type of lighting the whole time, or that could have operated as a distraction of, I don't get to see all of them as equal. But because just this lighting is way more dark, you can just notice and see him a little bit more, you know. That right there. Now everybody does that final pull through where we only saw one of them do it earlier. Then you had everybody. Guys, this was a really great start to seeing TXT. At least for me, in this way. This was super fun. All in all, this makes me tempted to want to learn it. It's enjoyable, and this song is so catchy. And it's fun, and I'm glad that they did this, and it's a full focus. I was able to see all the choreography, and I really think that I think they work well as a team, just as a reflection of how I saw them operate here. I can really tell that there's a good chance that they collaborate well on multiple facets of who they are, and I think that is what's going to create more of a longevity of your fan base, as well as the type of choreography you are given, what ends up happening on the stage, as well as the type of connection and musicality preferences as well. I just think overall they're definitely a very nice, captivating group, and I'm definitely excited to have watched them today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I know for me, I'm trying to be more consistent with reviewing or giving feedback to K-pop choreography, because a lot of the choreographers that I am familiar with, they do a lot of K-pop choreo, so I think it's very nice that I have that opportunity to kind of see some people's work, but as well as see what's out there within the community of the pop world of K-pop. It's super fun, and I feel like I get to meet a lot of you guys that are fans of these groups. I feel like we get to start discussions. You guys get to provide more context to me, so I feel like I learn much more than what I just see here, and I'm definitely looking forward to that here. If you want to see more K-pop content, I do have it on YouTube, but I also have early release content on Patreon. So this was actually released early on Patreon before it made its way onto YouTube. So if you want to get more content like this, or if you want to recommend K-pop groups and K-pop choreography for me to look at, I have all of those options there. But if you're somebody who's just here for a good time and is okay with waiting, these will all come out in due time. So thank you again, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.